What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Pinfalls and Playbooks podcast, episode number 44. As always, I'm your host, Fayez Kabir, alongside my co-host, Barton Khan. And in this week's episode, we're pretty much going to be talking about the NBA Finals, as well as Clash in Italy reactions, as well as Night of Champions. And we have some also NFL news interesting that happened to get into, so stay tuned for this week's episode. Next up on our NFL recap, we pretty much had a crazy Monday where it was out of like a trade that shaked up the entire NFL.
Yeah, so to a lot of people, pretty much everybody's surprised, Myles Garrett got traded to the Los Angeles Rams. And this makes the Rams immediate Super Bowl favorites, and they're probably going to win the whole thing if the team stays healthy. As far as the Browns go, they did acquire Jared Verse and a couple of first-round picks. Now, the thing about the Rams is they didn't really have any first-round picks over the last 15 years. I feel like they've only had like 2 or 3 realistically. And they traded those picks in 2027 as well as 2028. And they did acquire a younger asset in Jared Verse. So Myles Garrett on the Rams, you might watch out. Aaron Donald might come out of retirement just to play, just to get one more. And at this rate, they probably can if he does come back. Obviously, they don't need him. But having Myles Garrett, who's probably been the best defensive player in the last 15 years, is kind of crazy.
Yeah, Myles Garrett switched it up, and now the Rams are the favorite, like you said. And it's just crazy. This pretty much wakes up the entire NFL season where every team pretty much has to see what they want to do to compete against the Rams now. In my opinion, they're automatically the favorite to win the Super Bowl. So everyone's going to be chasing them. As well, we also had some news in the New York side of football where the Giants, they pretty much started signing a bunch of wide receivers, trying to build their team. They signed Odell Beckham Jr., Juju Smith-Schuster, and Braxton Berrios, pretty much giving more weapons for Jackson Dart. So I don't know what their plan is to do with this, but let's just see if Malik Neighbors can come back. If Scatboot can come back, then the Giants could really make some noise.
Yeah, like if they can win at least 4 of their first 6 games without them, and if they do come back, I think they could end up winning the NFC East realistically because they have a defense that's really dangerous. They have so many good pass rushers. They're a little sus on the secondary side, but they could definitely fix that aspect of their defense.
Right. And then lastly, the New England Patriots, they picked up A.J. Brown in the worst kept secret. A.J. Brown is now added to the Patriots wide receiving core, where it's just an upgrade in my opinion. We lost Stephon Diggs, now we have A.J. Brown. This adds more to Drake May's arsenal. We'll see how it goes for the Patriots because obviously it's all about them or incorporating the running back play as well because we know Drake May can deliver in the passing play if our O-line holds up as well.
Yeah.
So that matters most. But the NFL season is off to a crazy start, and we'll see if more trades happen throughout.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of contending teams seeing what the Rams did, they're going to want to pull some moves. There's obviously a lot of bad teams that might sell. And at this point, anything's possible, especially with Myles Garrett going to the Rams.
All right, guys, now it's time for our WWE recap where we're going to pretty much quickly talk about Clash in Italy where, in my opinion, it was a good card, but there was obviously some misfaults. And first off is the first match of the night where we had Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. It was a solid match. It was a good match, but it was quick. Nothing
could have been better.
Could have been better. Nothing compared to their first match, but it's obviously because this is probably their first match in a many. And Cody Rhodes actually technically did beat Gunther, but there was obviously some controversy where Gunther's foot was under the rope during a crossroads pin, and that is going to be the implication of why Gunther's going to be deserving of another match. So we'll see that play out, possibly a Night of Champions having that rematch. But obviously, I didn't think that WWE wanted to move the title off of Cody Rhodes just yet. So next up, we had Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. These girls had a really good match, probably the match of the night. Jade Cargill's best match of her career so far. And Rhea Ripley picks up the W, pretty much putting an end to this rivalry. But I think it starts the rivalry between Jade and Charlotte Flair. Yeah. So those girls are going to be destined to have their one-on-one match. Next up, we had Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi in a WrestleMania rematch where it was an additional 2 minutes to their match. It's a 6-minute match, a crazy sprint from the get-go where Obafemi was pretty much doing his pose. It led to Brock Lesnar attacking him, and it led to a bunch of F5s, and F5 through a table. Ultimately, Brock Lesnar picked up the W after delivering 7 F5s to Obafemi. Crazy match, but it looks like, we'll talk about in our Raw review, where it looks like this match is going to be on standstill for now.
Yeah.
Next up is we have Sol Ruca versus Becky Lynch. Sol Ruca ended up picking up the championship, where I figured that they wanted to move the title off of Becky to probably move her towards the King of the Ring, the Queen of the Ring, where she can be in that tournament and now maybe getting a match at SummerSlam if she advances in the tournament. But for Sol Ruca, new face in that division.
Fresh face, yeah.
Fresh faces where she can face a lot of people as well. So we'll see how the Women's Intercontinental Championship scene plays out. And lastly, we had Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu in Tribal Combat. a rinse repeat from all of Roman's matches we've been seeing in the last 4 or 5 years. And I don't know, for me in this match, it just seemed like it was just repeating the same old shtick that he's been doing for the last 5 years. And ultimately, I kind of was like, all right, I accepted the fact that WWE's going to be playing the safe mode and letting Roman Reigns continue to run the show. But we had some interesting developments at the end of the show where MFT showed up. They were ringside. Roman Reigns is talking about Cody Rhodes. We'll see how that match happens. But ultimately, Roman Reigns won, and now Jacob Fatu has to acknowledge him, which leads right into Monday Night Raw. And Jacob Fatu started off the show with Roman Reigns. The whole gang was back together. The bloodline was back, it seemed like, and ultimately ended with Jacob Fatu acknowledging Roman Reigns. So, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be something bigger or better. We'll see how it plays out later on.
It depends on the route that they take. If they want to continue the same old shtick, fans are going to get tired of it. They're going to start calling out WWE for their nonsense. And at the end of the day, that's not good for business.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But we'll see how that plays out. Next up, the King of the Ring tournament started off with a Fatal 4-Way. Obafemi versus Carmelo Hayes versus Penta versus Solo Sikoa. It ultimately led to Obafemi picking up the W. He was pretty dominant. At the end of the match, the beginning of the match, the 3 other guys decided to take Obafemi and put him to the side. But Obafemi came back, charged up, and won the match in a fun Fatal 4-Way match. At the end of the match, Obafemi pretty much addressed Brock Lesnar, saying that they're one-on-one, and he's going to be coming for him at a later time. Pretty much, that's basically what he said.
Yeah.
So we don't know when that match can happen. Obviously, people are still speculating SummerSlam, but with Obafemi in this tournament, he's automatically the favorite to win the tournament.
Yeah.
But we'll see if Brock Lesnar could possibly cost him, and that leading to their final rubber match.
Yeah.
Next up, the Queen of the Ring tournament started off with Io Sky picking up her Fatal 4-Way win. Most likely, she's probably going to be the favorite now to win this tournament. She never won it, so they had a fun match, but let's see how the Queen of the Ring tournament shapes up, as it's a little bit more unpredictable to see who's going to win that tournament. Lastly, on the Monday Night Raw, we didn't have much other substance besides we had the main event, which was Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker, which seems like their blow-off feud.
Yeah, but this also happened on the fly as well.
Yeah, and Seth Rollins pretty much won this match. It was fun. It was solid. Braun Breaker, it looks like he's obviously in the King of the Ring tournament. So is Seth Rollins. These two can possibly meet up in the finals again. So I don't know. Let's see how that plays out. We had interference from Austin Theory, Montez Ford. But overall, Seth Rollins won. And he pretty much ended the show by addressing Roman Reigns, saying that he's coming for that championship and pretty much aiming to win the King of the Ring tournament, which he never won before. And lastly, to end the show, we had WWE promoting the entire show, the AAA match between Chad Gable, the original El Grande Americano versus Ludwig Kaiser, the new Grande Americano. And this was pretty much WWE's match of the year. If you watched it, El Grande Americano, which was Chad Gable's character, pretty much delivered. He's showing why he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. And I'm excited to see when they bring him back to WWE television. So let's see how that plays out. But that is by far the WWE match of the year.
100%, yeah.
So we'll see when Chad Gable comes back to TV and if they continue to bring the Ludwig Kaiser's El Grande on the show as well, because he did come out during like a commercial break just addressing the crowd and he was super over. So we're going to see these guys on WWE television and doing their news stories as well. But that sums up our WWE recap for this week, as it's pretty much on the road to Night of Champions, and we see all these King of the Ring matches, qualifiers go on for the next few weeks. But that sums up our WWE recap for this week.
All right, Fast. This week on Blind Rankings from 1 through 5, you're gonna be blind ranking iconic WWE finishers. Your first finisher up is the RKO.
The RKO is probably the greatest finisher of all time. I think that's a huge, it's obviously one of the biggest finishers that can come out of nowhere. That's the whole thing about it. But I'm not going to put it at 1 yet, but I'm going to put it at number 2.
Number 2. Okay, your next finisher up, the Tombstone from The Undertaker.
The Tombstone Piledriver is The Undertaker's iconic move, but we've been seeing it in wrestling forever. People are still doing it these days where they're outside of WWE promotions. But I feel like the Tombstone lost some aura because of just how many people are doing it and how it's just a setup move sometimes at this point. I'm going to put the Tombstone by The Undertaker at number 4.
At number 4. All right, your next finisher up, the Swanton Bomb.
Swanton Bomb is a great finisher. It's patented with Jeff Hardy. A lot of people can't still do it, probably in the indie scene as well and the other promotions, but it's synonymous with Jeff Hardy. And every time people saw it, it was a huge pop. So Jeff Hardy's Swanton Bomb, I'm putting it at 3.
All right, your next finisher up, the AA/FU.
It's the most basic finisher there is out there. You're just slamming someone on their back if you really think about it. But obviously with John Cena being synonymous with it, it's an iconic move. I'm not going to put it at number 1. I'm going to put it at number 5.
All right. So you had the RKO at number 2. You had the Swanton Bomb at 3. You had the Tombstone at 4. And the AA at 5, and your number 1, the Sweet Chin Music.
That's one of the best finishers of all time. I feel like I killed this list. I love Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music finisher, and I think that is the best finisher of all time. Would you rather, WWE edition, number 1, would you rather get attacked by the Nexus or by the Shield?
The Shield. I feel like the Nexus, they were more ruthless. They would be targeting people left and right out of nowhere without hesitation. At least with the Shield, they had a vendetta or an agenda to attack the people that they attacked. So I'd rather get attacked by the Shield.
All right, number 2. Would you rather be a WWE champion for 1 month or be a United States champion for a year?
I would be a WWE champion for a month because I feel like the recognition that the US title now has, it's much less to what it used to be. But if we're talking about the now, I'd rather be a WWE champion.
All right, number 3. Would you rather be a part of Evolution or the Bloodline?
I would rather be a part of Evolution. I feel like the star power with Evolution, it was unmatched. The Bloodline, the only thing that makes it tempting is the longevity of it. But Evolution is probably one of if not the best faction of all time. Obviously, you have the Shield.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, everybody that was a part of Evolution, they were all 10 plus time champions.
All right, number 4. Would you rather have the promo skills of CM Punk or the in-ring skills of Shawn Michaels?
I would rather have the in-ring skills of Shawn Michaels. I feel like being a good promo artist is great. Like, for example, LA Knight, he's a really good promo artist. He's had his moments, but if you look at it from a bigger perspective, he's one of the best promo battlers in the WWE right now. But his in-ring competitive is not thrilling. But when you have Shawn Michaels' in-ring competitive skills, anything's possible.
All right. And number 5, would you rather start a company with a prime John Cena or a prime Roman Reigns?
I would start it with a prime Roman Reigns because I feel like he's a much better in-ring competitor than John Cena ever was. And that's a hot take for most people. But overall, Roman Reigns, he has the serious mindset. If we're talking about Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, 100% take Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. All right, Faz, stay quiet until you hear a better all-time player than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Your first name up, Damian Lillard. Second name up, Kyrie Irving. Third, Chris Paul. Fourth, Gary Payton. Fifth, your boy, Tony Parker. Sixth, Isaiah Thomas. Pistons, Isaiah Thomas.
I'm going to take Isaiah Thomas right now. I think Isaiah Thomas, obviously, he has the championships, and I think he had a better team and a more notable team, but obviously, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has the 2 MVPs versus him, but I think the championships matter more for now, and especially in the point guard discussion, so I'm going to take Isaiah Thomas over Shai right now.
All right, since you spoke, we'll continue down the list. Your next name up was John Stockton. All right, your next name up would have been the Big O, Oscar Robertson.
You know, I will take Oscar over him, obviously, because of the triple doubles and especially his impact he had and him. I don't know. Like, I can't say if Oscar Robertson is a great, one of the greats. Like, I just never watched him like that, obviously, but people did talk about him being that level. But if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander continues to play this really well, I will take him over eventually over Oscar.
All right, your next name up, your last 2. First, Steph Curry.
No, I'll take Steph Curry over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 4-time champion, unanimous MVP, one of the greatest shooters of all time.
And your last name up, Earvin Magic Johnson.
Yeah, Magic, still the number 1 point guard of all time. Keep 3, cut 5, the best Yankee baseball players of all time.
Okay.
Number 1, Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig. You know, for me, I feel like Lou Gehrig, he's definitely a top 10 Yankee of all time. He had a lot of hits, but it meant a lot to the team. But I feel like there's more impactful players for the Yankees than Lou Gehrig. Obviously, we have his ALS disease, and he was known for that. But respectfully, I'm going to cut him.
Number 2, Joe DiMaggio.
I would keep Joe DiMaggio. Everybody knows who Joe D is, so he'd be my first keep.
Number 3, Derek Jeter.
Because of his defensive runs saved, which is probably one of the worst of all time, I know he's El Capitan, and you can't go wrong with Derek Jeter. So I'm gonna cut Derek Jeter.
Wow, interesting. Number 4, Babe Ruth.
You gotta keep Babe Ruth. He's probably the greatest baseball player of all time.
Number 5, Yogi Berra.
Here's where I don't know what you're gonna give me later on, but Yogi Berra. You know what? I'm gonna keep Yogi Berra.
So that's all your keeps right
Yeah.
then and there.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you kept Joe DiMaggio, you kept Babe Ruth, and you kept Yogi Berra. You ended up cutting Lou Gehrig. You ended up cutting Derek Jeter. You ended up cutting Mariano Rivera.
See, that's where
You ended up cutting Mickey Mantle. And you ended up cutting Aaron Judge.
the only one that would switch would be Yogi for Mickey Mantle, because Mickey Mantle, he could do it all.
All right, guys, that's our episode for this week. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.